Samson is an interesting character in the Bible. This is a man that possessed superhuman strength. This was a man that had been set apart for a great assignment in the nation of Israel. But the end of this man was not too glorious. Today, we want to take a look at the life of Samson and how it impacts us as Christians, how we can identify with the story of Samson and that Delilah that is chasing us. Hello, everyone. My name is Nigel. Welcome to the Light Tube. Today's topic is an interesting one, something I call a generation of Samsons. And I want us to take a look at this character in the Bible called Samson. I want us to focus on something interesting about Samson. It would interest you to know that the name Samson actually means of the sun. And we know that the sun is something that gives us light. The sun is a source of strength. The sun is something that we cannot do without. Okay, and this sun is sun. All right, and Bible talks about something in the book of Matthew 5:14. Bible talks about us being the light of the world. It says in 14 that you are the light of the world. It says that a city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. And I just want us to liken the life of Samson to us as believers these days. You realize that God has called us for something very important in these end times. Many of us carry so much that God has put in us. We are supposed to be a light to our generation. We are supposed to be a group of people that people look up to. But much like Samson, you realize that there is something that is chasing us. There is a spirit that constantly pursues us. There is an agenda of the enemy to dim our lights. I believe that you watching me right now, I believe that God has placed something in you. I believe that God has put something in you that is needed for this generation. But you would bear witness with me that we have an adversary. Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers. Bible says again that the thief cometh not but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So you realize that though there is something that God has put in you, constantly there is an enemy that is fighting you. There is an enemy that is fighting your glory. And this is something that we saw in the life of Samson. Samson possessed something that up to this day, I don't know if we've heard of anyone who has such strength or has such abilities that Samson carried. And you realize that with this Samson, Delilah was someone that was coming after him. And I see Delilah as a system of the enemy. Delilah seeks to take away your strength. She seeks to take away the source of your strength because you realize that she came in, her primary purpose was to take away Samson's strength. But to get to his strength, she had to take the source of his strength. Look at it in these days. What the enemy tries to do is to take you away from God. Delilah was very, very persistent. She was so persistent to the extent that she succeeded in getting that source of Samson's strength. And this is a man who ended up dying, a very sad death, in my opinion, because this was a man with so much strength, so much that to the extent that his eyes were taken out, his vision was taken. And this is another strategy of the enemy when he sends the spirit of Delilah. He seeks to take away our vision. He seeks to take away that thing that God has put in us, that thing that God has led us to do. And so I want you to know that the reason why you are going through what you are going through is because God has set you as a light. God has put something in you that would be a blessing to this generation. But you do not want the spirit of Delilah or that system of Delilah to get the better of you. We need to arise as believers in God's kingdom. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about how we can deal with this spirit of Delilah, how we can resist the enemy that is trying to take away our strength, that is trying to take away our glory. And so I don't want this video to be too long. This is just an introductory video, but this is why the spirit of Delilah is coming after you. This is why you are struggling in your walk, because God has a plan for you. God has called you, and the enemy is seeking to take away that strength. I hope you were blessed by this video. Please do well to like, do well to subscribe, and stay tuned as I bring you the next video on how you can deal with this spirit. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.